There are days when I say to myself, today was just like a video game. And I feel like I captured a resource or I learned something that allowed me to go up to the next level of the game. And here are a few levels which I would like to suggest that some of you have already passed through. One of those levels toward the bottom is understanding that people are fundamentally irrational. Now, I wrote my book, Win Bigly, to reinforce that idea. If you are going through life thinking that other people are rational, you will be frustrated and unhappy every day because people are not rational. And if you try to imagine that they are, your understanding of what should happen next won't match what happens next. Because you'll say, well, here are my 10 good reasons why you should agree with me. And then you think, well, now you'll agree with me. But then you don't, because we're irrational. So expecting people to act rationally is a formula for stress and anxiety. So the first time that you move up a level in this, let's call it the video game of life, you can't move up a level until you get that. And you really have to get it. And I don't mean saying that sometimes other people are irrational. I mean that it's the base code of our existence. It's our operating system. We operate on confirmation bias and a subjective kind of reality. Which leads me to the next level. It's one thing to say that people are irrational, but it's next level in terms of a video game. It's next level thinking to say that maybe our entire reality is subjective, which doesn't mean there isn't something real, but understanding that our human evolution was never directed at giving us understanding of reality. We did not evolve, or at least there's no reason to believe we evolved, to understand the nature of reality. It wasn't important. A clam can reproduce without understanding reality. A cat can reproduce without understanding nearly as much as we understand. Understanding reality, and like really understanding it, completely optional, and maybe even unproductive, for evolution. So we did not evolve with that capability, and indeed you can see that we don't have it. Just observe how people act. So once you really realize that we're all in a different movie, that we're looking at the same document and seeing a different reality, you've got a different religion than somebody else. Once you understand how subjective our experience is, you move up to the next level. Right? So the first level is understanding that people are fundamentally irrational. And the level after that is that irrationality is related to the fact we're not even seeing the same world. We exist in it and we interact, but we keep getting confused and tense in our interactions because we don't understand why you're not seeing what I'm seeing. And the reason is different realities. And then here's the next level above that, because I believe a lot of you have already passed through those two levels. The level above that is to understand that your brain is programmable. And not just a little bit. You all know that you can learn something, and that's, in a sense, that's programming your brain. But it's much deeper than that. You can fundamentally change your preferences. Yes, you can change your preferences. I have experimented with this over the years. I'm not going to give you examples because I don't want to get into the details, but I have actually experimented trying to like something I didn't like and to see if I could do it until I loved it. And I've also experimented taking something I loved, let's say eating Snickers candy bars, and turning it into something I didn't like, and I can succeed. It's completely doable. You can rewire your preferences. Now, you have to understand that. If you think the only thing you can do is add memories, or maybe you can add a little skill, you don't get to go to the next level. You have to understand that you can change your basic personality if you know how to do it. That's the highest level. I've done it a whole number of times. I've watched other people do it. So, and it takes a little trial and error to do it. But what we're talking about today is exactly that. It's reprogramming your brain.